Now, you sit up here and you give Cam Newton a platform on linear TV or linear network. What would that look like? Woo, woo. I'm open for business, baby.
Come on now.
Now, I know a lot of people have been paying attention to the NBA Finals, but I think the main reason for all my IPs, I want to highlight things that are important to me, Peggy.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things is professionalism and opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Have a clip right here, and that will kind of set the parameters of where I'm pulling from. Play the clip.
I'm starting at the NFL Network as a media talent after my career. I'm in Jacksonville covering the Jags. I wake up the next morning, I miss my flight back to LA. About a week later, I'm in LA at the NFL Network. We're in the green room where all the players and coaches congregate before we go on the show. We're sitting in there. Deion says, close the door. So we close the door. I'm thinking it's story time. Deion's gonna tell us about the 90s and how he's balling out. He looks at me, he says, Nate, I heard you missed your flight. I said, yeah, man, I woke up a little late. It was a long day of work. He said, I don't want to hear those excuses. I said, you got talent. You can't do that, because if I heard about it, our bosses heard about it. He said, we can't afford to mess up.
We can't afford.
And-
Pointing to your skin.
And that stuck with me. I never missed a flight again.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that stuck with me, because I feel like there's two types of people in this world. People that care and people that could care less.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you care so much about seeing other people
That's what
shine?
I saw, man. That's what I saw growing up. That's what I saw with my mother. Everyone had a meal when they came to the crib. Everyone had a place to lay their head. Like, that's what I saw. And I'm so about you. I just want to see the best in you. The saddest thing in this country is when we can see more in somebody than they see themselves, than they see in themselves. And I want you to see every darn thing.
So landing TV roles in traditional media or in sports media, this is just OG talk, so to speak, because I think this is broader, bigger than just media, and specifically athletes. Now, we're going to go and make our point in regards to that, but oftentimes accountability can be looked at as, or shunned away, like, man, stop all that shit, bro. Like, oh, I don't want to hear all that. But these are your accountability people.
That's true.
You're
Your
fucking
partners.
up, bro. Come on now. It can happen in the workplace environment. We see it happen oh so many different times that may not be publicized in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody's against or higher than the law of accountability.
True.
And it could be from player to player, owner to player, or in this case, from earlier in the show, from former player to owner. You see what I'm saying? It's all about accountability. And Deion said it perfect. The worst thing that can happen is if you see something in somebody that they don't even see in themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
We're living in the most sensitive time in America. You can't talk about, no, don't talk about that. No. But this is supposed to be the land of the free.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about something that could potentially help you further your career.
That's true.
So when I look at former athletes or athletes who have transitioned from field to film or in the media space, right? I look at mainstream media no different than any other thing, but we're going to take our focus there. Obviously, we have the utmost respect for the Robin Roberts of the world. I don't even know if he is, but he's crushing it. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
The Rock.
You know,
Robin Roberts is a girl.
Robin Roberts she's the sports analyst, or not sports analyst, but Good Morning America.
Talking about and said he was going to, it was transitioning to The Rock.
Obviously, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, wrestler. When I think of TV personalities who I admire, can't speak about former athletes who are killing it in the media without mentioning Michael Strahan, Nate Burleson, Terry Crews, and for him to have a major impact, being a villain almost, so to speak, too, George Foreman.
Yeah, for sure.
We see guys like Stephen A. Smith, see guys like Shannon Sharp, multiple people, Richard Sherman, but that's just sports pundits. Those are sports analysts.
Correct.
And it's just wowing to see the statistics of that. Once again, I must admonish everybody to understand, I'm just speaking my truth. I'm just highlighting
The facts.
the facts. This ain't Cam hating. This ain't Cam doing anything other than I'm just bringing up a topic, and it's up to you to digest it however you want to. And I just look around and I say to myself, so, we have a lot of statistics that we can highlight. This one specific statistic is something that shapes the Newton's law even more. Of the 251 national and regional NFL broadcasters for the 2018 season, 19% of them were black. And in a league where black players make up more than 2/3 of the player body, black former players make up less than 1/3 of the broadcast.
And currently, it's still, the numbers are very similar too as well.
To this day!
Till this day.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I see a clip like that, when Nate Burleson was called out, not necessarily called out,
Held
publicly,
accountable.
held accountable
Yeah.
by Deion Sanders. Because before Deion Sanders went to Jackson State, before we see Deion Sanders at Colorado, Deion Sanders was a very highly recognizable media figure.
Correct.
Did well for himself.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And he held him to the standard of like, yo, bro, like you fucking up. You can't miss no flights. Now, if a flight is delayed, that's
One thing.
operations. But you missing the flight, can't happen. Like I said, these conversations happen all the time. Now, the worst thing that can happen also, too, you believing more in the person, is also a person not receiving your intentions for the call out. Now, if I'm calling you out and, this is coming from a hater and like, damn, bro, like, coach, man, hell no. But if it's coming from a person who genuinely loves you or know what you can do, it should be welcomed. Like, you know what, dog? Yes.
I needed that. Yeah.
But you only get too many my faults or my bads, it won't happen again. And then it does happen again. And then it's like, okay. I have a saying that I share with my players with C1N, all-star players. My faults and my bads don't count, especially not in the workplace environment. Because a my fault or a my bad in the commodity of medicine
Woo, that's life-threatening.
can be a cost of your life.
Yeah.
A doctor tells a patient or a patient's family, oh man, my fault, my bad. We lost a family member. So what would make you think that a my fault or my bad and your job is on the line
Yeah.
would be excused? You don't get no excused absences, respectfully. Because when I look at it through my lens, why I'm taking this route of independence, I have a family. I have multiple businesses. I have this, that, and the third, but people who look to me to help them or nurture them to growing into their best version of themselves, they don't give a damn. Daddy, I'm hungry. Daddy, I want to do this, or Daddy, I want to do that. They don't care that Daddy don't feel like it. I got to get these kids some food.
Yeah.
I got to keep these kids clothed. I got to keep these kids with a roof over their head. And that's whether they stand at my house or their mama house. So when I look at this clip right here, very glaring to see. When I see this clip too, and another point that I want to take with African Americans or minorities being responsible for 2/3 of, I want to say student body, but player body.
The player body, yeah.
In a lot of the leagues, the major leagues, NFL, NBA. You can go MLB, but there probably are foreigners and things like that. But the truth is, when I see a guy like Tom Brady signs a 10-year contract worth $375 million, Greg Olsen, $3 million contract annually as a commentator. Tony Romo, 10 years, $180 million. Troy Aikman, $18.5 million contract annually. And then you drop off to Ryan Clark, right, with $2 million annually. Richard Sherman, 5 years, $18 million contract. Okay, Kirk Herbstreit, $18 million annually as a football commentator for ESPN and Amazon. All right, now when I think of guys like Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, has really maximized on putting a great body of work. Now, I'm not saying that they're not worthy enough to have these contracts.
Correct.
Because I'm always going to tell Tom Brady, Tony Romo, Greg Olsen, Troy Aikman, Matt Ryan to go get the bag.
Yes, sir.
From one player, former player, to another former player. I'm not hating that. What I am doing is saying how in the world are they the only ones that's getting access to these type of contracts. Because somebody told me, they say, well, you don't get these contracts because you're not polished yet.
Who's to
What
say?
type of media training did Tony Romo have before he just popped up and started commentating the games? As the number one guy, this ain't 3 and 4. This is, and he does a damn good job.
He does.
Tom Brady, same thing. Like I ain't never seen Tom Brady cover no or commentate. And I'm too young to understand if Troy Aikman did anything prior to
They
him.
could be doing some stuff behind the shadows that's not
Understood though, but that's also.
But they skipped the line of a lot of people.
That is my point.
Yeah.
That is my point. How can we get other minorities to skip the line too? Because we all know ball. We all can speak on our perspective of what we feel this play should be, or analyzing what the play was. This, that, and the third. I mean, it doesn't matter. I look at guys like Joe Buck, Al Michaels, Jim Nance. I mean, the list goes on, bro. I mean, where we are now, this is why I stand on the table saying I am trying to be as authentic as I possibly can using my platform to deliver the truth
Yeah.
my way. And if somebody deems that this is not the truth, this whole industry is opinionated.
That's true.
Journalism is opinionated with going off of a topic. It may be facts, it may not, but it's still opinionated. You can write whatever you want to write by how you feel. Now, some people have to report their story to certain people and some people don't. But I'm saying, how can we get more minorities to skip the line like other people? Is it your resume? Huh? Now, Troy Aikman, hell of a player. Hall of Fame player, Super Bowl winner. Tom Brady, probably the
Same.
greatest to ever do it. What about Tony Romo?
Yeah.
If we're going off resumes.
Yeah.
That's not to say I'm not happy for him. But I'm saying, how can we get more minorities? I think Ryan Clark is a brilliant mind in regards to sports.
Same as Kurt Herbstreit.
Same thing.
Yeah.
You feel me? So let's keep it a buck. Or as we like to call it on the other platform, let's keep it funky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And be what it's going to be. Now, I see another person, Pat McAfee. Signed a big boy deal.
Big boy bag.
But he has a body of work. He's a punter, a specialist. He ain't a quarterback, but he got quarterback money.
Damn right about
See what I'm
that.
saying? And his content is quality, entertaining, informative content that a lot of people, along with myself, appreciates because it's from the player's perspective. Like his content is almost like locker room talk half the time.
Yeah.
He's not your prototypical Scott Van Pelt, with the suit. I love Scott.
Yeah, for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? But that's not who Pat McAfee is. You dig what I'm saying? Like when I see Pat McAfee, he got the cut off black shirt with the boots,
Yeah.
swaggy as hell. You see what I'm saying? And I love that because now it speaks to where I come from, the
Yeah.
locker room. And I now am not forced to just get my information from a person that cannot relate to the reality of that.
Do you think even you coming from an athlete now into media, like, are you deemed a jock in this media world, or like, do people really give you the respect of like, I appreciate your mind more than your physical attributes?
Yeah, I think too is here of late within the last really 18 months. My concern from networks has been, is Cam done playing? And let me say this, like, bro, I haven't played football in 4 years. Do I think somebody's going to take a chance on me now? No. That's me being honest. Cam, are you planning on retiring? No. But that don't mean I can't get offered.
You're not open for business for anything.
You
else.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then if you so concerned about that, put it in the contract.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? A portion of this money has to be paid back if
You do go back.
I'm not the person that I don't want to ascribe to having to retire to get your fly. I done been in the media long enough to realize that's not important to me.
Correct.
See what I'm saying? Do I think I will ever play football again? Respectfully, no. That's just me being honest.
Because it's been so much time.
It's been so long. I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah.
Do I think I can play? Yes. But do I think I'm going to play? I need somebody to take a chance. I
On
don't
you.
think somebody's going to take that chance now.
Yeah.
Now, when we even go into mainstream, can't just say sports figures or sports platforms, ESPN or Disney, right? Let's talk about SNL. Who's hosted SNL? The list goes from Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Dwayne Johnson. But when we make this point, within the last 15 years, no black minority football player has hosted SNL. Does that mean that we haven't been qualified to do so? It's been a lot of entertaining figures who's played this game. I mean, 2/3 of them. The numbers don't lie, Peggy.
They ain't lying.
That hasn't had the opportunity to do so. You may say Travis Kelce, and I believe Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm making my point of, hey, O.J. Simpson, Walter Payton, Dwayne Johnson, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and Charles Barkley. That was, when I think about O.J. Simpson hosting SNL, that was 1978. Rest in peace. And then these are basketball players who are hosting it majority
Yeah.
majority of the time. You know what I'm saying? So Eli Manning, Tom Brady, like these are, where is the opportunity? That's my question.
For any minorities, yeah.
You feel me? Because now I do understand that Deion Sanders hosted it, but this was 1995. Deion Sanders. This wasn't Coach Prime.
Yeah.
You hear me knocking, Peggy?
Well, let me in then,
come
bud.
on now.
Come on.
That's my point. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And I'm gonna drop the mic and say, where is the minority opportunity?
Because we open for business.
Affirmative action needs to be in place, ladies and gentlemen. And don't be giving me no handouts. Now, you sit up here and you give Cam Newton a platform on linear TV or linear network. What would that look like? Woo. I'm open for business, Peggy.
Come on now. Ka-ching.
But until then, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you comment. But most of all, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you subscribe.